Your art should never be a process of comparison or competition. Your art should be a journey. It is a process in which you take your time with it. It should never be a competition or in comparison of the other works in which you can deem and compare each other on a pedestal. It should be done in service of exploration and as a meditative journey of the ideas and thoughts and questions that you have within that moment and exploration of the artwork or medium or piece, whatever it is. And so I feel as if often as creators and artists and creatives, there's a sense of comparison that sort of steals all of these in ideas and kind of robs ourselves of being able to even do the thing that we want. Whether it's the universe showing itself as, you know, um, like, oh, this idea, someone already did that idea, or like, um, you know, you're on the right path and you experience the synchronicity of, you know, you know, like that similarly where people do the same idea or similar ideas, or you're getting recommended things that build you on that journey. It's more so that like those ideas of course have need to be enacted upon, and you need to have the faith in order to accomplish them, but there isn't a race to enact those ideas other than the fulfillment in which you must produce that idea, and that your vision is truly unique and only to you, because no one else, it may be a similar idea and you may be borrowing from the universe's uh, consciousness or ether in which you borrow a similar idea, but that idea can only be enacted through your particular lens, because it will only show your perspective or whatever, like, your journey with that idea is, if you choose to follow and go through with it. But often I think we shoot ourselves and we stop ourselves from enacting from these places because we always are, I think we are conditioned and we're taught to not accept ourselves for how we are, or to accept our artistic belief, or accept our artistic desires, and to trust in the process that our ideas are valued and that we shouldn't place them on a pedestal. Although they are valued and they're, we shouldn't put them on a pedestal in which nothing can surpass it. We place it on not a pedestal, but we treat it, and we not devote, but there is a level of devotion that we treat these ideas in which we highly regard them. We don't revere these ideas because reverence creates this idea that there are no other ideas better than this, or there are no ideas that will accomplish or be better than it. Because then, in that sense, we are blocking our creative flow by putting it on a pedestal. But it's more so the act of knowing that those ideas that we have are valuable, and that more will come, and that more will always come, and that by abundantly allowing ourselves to use our ideas we are in service of the creation, because then more ideas can build and blossom and continually grow within the process of allowing ourselves to commit. And so I think ultimately the act of creation is a long and tumultuous and slow journey, because it allows you the ability to think and to process and to feel what it is you are exploring. And so I think often we can get stuck in the cycles of traps of whether it's scholarly expectation, or whether it's a mentor, or whether it's, um, you know, personal ambition, and not believing that we are good enough, and, you know, putting ideas on pedestals, and consistently comparing, and, you know, belittling ourselves into trying to mold ourselves into something that we're not. And, you know, there's this idea that productivity makes us more complete, more well rounded individuals. And I think, in a sense, it does, but not in the sense of the way that, you know, capitalism, or the way that needing to obtain productivity in a way for monetary gain rather than personal, spiritual fulfillment and development. I think productivity should always be in service of the person, and not because you are trying to obtain a monetary goal. It should always be an act of creation and in service of the ideas and message that you want to put across, rather than, oh, this will make a lot of money, or I'm going to be rich making this idea, or, you know, I'm going to have a lot of followers, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. Because all of that, and it's not wrong to say if you want to obtain those things, but I think true artist fulfillment will always come from the process of doing rather than achieving the goals. And whatever byproduct the goal may give you, you know, that's only a reward for the work that you put in. You know, all the hours, all everything that people may not see, because people only see the byproduct. People only see the outcome, but rarely do they ever see the whole process of in which everything unravels, or the long hours that you spend thinking or creating or drawing or writing or learning and studying and applying all of these concepts that you're learning. And I think as creatives, you really need to start and living fully within accepting the moment of the process, because the process is much more fulfilling rather than it is the obtaining of goals. And I think that's where a lot of creatives fall between, you know, oh, I need this goal, I need this award, I need this recognition, I need this thing, I need that to feel whole. Really, you're searching for validation. You're searching for recognition. You're searching for acknowledgement for the goals and things that you've put a good amount of, you know, money or effort or just your whole being into that art form. And of course, that's not to say validation is bad, but I think definitely you have to know that the fulfillment is never going to come from external needs. And I think I think that's the level of detachment that you have to have with it. It's not to say that you can't have or can't obtain those things. They're not wrong in by any means, but it's more so the journey is everything, and the journey is what keeps you going because it builds your dexterity, it builds your vocabulary, it builds your ability to understand yourself and the ability to understand others. And within that, you become stronger in the choices that you make as an artist, or you begin to trust into the process, but also trust more into diving and exploring the unknown. You start to question more things. You start to think deeply about things. You start to be more specific and intentional with the things that you want to create. And within that self and within that sense, you begin to dissect and think differently about the work that you create, and you begin to evolve not only artistically, but you also evolve as a person because you are able to think about these things differently, and you're able to express those things that you want to have, or you have these questions and burning mysteries that you want to solve, or you know, it's there's an excitement to the unpacking and dissecting all of these layers in which you have a product that you are proud of, and truthfully, throughout the entire process of creation, you begin to enjoy it, and it's not a thing of what goal am I going to achieve, and it's not wrong to be determined by those things, but I think in the sense that your art should always be in service of yourself, others, and the art form itself. You could always want to achieve a higher goal or a thing, but ultimately, it is always going to go back to, again, the art form itself. And so, I think with that being said, that leaves a majority of the ideas in which I have planned to articulate within this moment. And so, I know that over time I will have more check-ins like these, more ideas, more explorations of concepts and the ways that artists can live a fulfilling and nurturing, spiritually or physically, or even just creatively, or just whatever the case may be. I know that I will have more conversations with myself within reflection. And so I hope to document more things like these. And so I say, very awkwardly, have a wonderful day. And let's see where the next conversation goes.